readers. This morning we have had a lot of tea, and so I'm going to review The Mortal Instruments, the first 3 books of City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass.
You are now watching Elizziebooks.
So, City of Bones, let's talk about this. In this book, basically we get to meet Clary and Simon and Jace and Alec and Isabel and the Lightwoods and all these other people. In this book, what happens is Clary is, her mom is very sheltering of her, and she kind of finds out why. And also at the same time she meets these this group of people called the Shadow Hunters. Basically, they're these things called Nephilim. Basically, they are mortal people, but they have the ability to slay demons with these seraph blades, and they also can put runes on themselves, kind of like temporary tattoos that can do special things. So in this book, Clary's mom goes missing. Clary comes home and finds her apartment a freaking wreck, and there is a demon there, and so this new shadow hunter that she's become friends with, or she's kind of been following him because she's like, I saw you kill a demon in the club, and now I need to find out what are you up to, why is this what? And so they kind of team up in a way. She's like, hey, I really need your help to find my mother because there's a demon involved. You kill demons. Let's team up. And her best friend gets turned into a rat. And so because of that, she does a lot of dumb things like, running into a hotel of vampires, which it usually leads to death, sucking of all of your blood. There's a lot of stuff in this book that really annoyed me as far as Clary goes, because she does just a lot of things that I saw her as like a trigger or a window of sorts to the Shadowhunter world. It didn't feel like it was a natural introduction to the Shadowhunter world. It was kind of like Clary was tripping and falling through all this stuff, and it kind of makes sense because she is new to this world. She had no idea about this world because her mother has been so protective of her. There's a lot of stuff that you kind of just have to figure out as you read this book. I know there are probably going to be people who are going to be mad at me if I tried to talk too much about this book, but basically there is a lot of stuff that Clary does not know that she is actually a part of. It's a lot, but throughout these books she grows, and throughout this series, I'm just gonna say it, she does a lot of character Clary development. Jace has this amazing sense of humor. I love it so much, and Simon is so geeky. It's a really cool series, but this one I was just like, I put it down, I finished it. I finished it in a couple of days, but overall I was just like, I don't know, so it took me a while. It took me a lot of convincing actually to pick up the next 2 books. So about a week and a half ago, maybe longer than that, I started reading City of Ashes. Actually started reading it probably a couple months ago, and then put it down for whatever reason. I got 150 pages into it, and so a couple weeks ago I picked it up again right where I left off. Might as well. I remember most of it. I've got good memory. Good memory. I don't need to remember all. This one, you see a lot of character development from Clary. I felt like this is a book where she just really grows and learns and everything. But this one is about Valentine and his, going up in power. In this series, they think that Valentine has died, has disappeared. They don't know what happened to him, and he kind of reappears in City of Bones. Well, he does, and then he kind of disappears again. But through a portal thing, mirror. Anyways, this one, he's going in search of the mortal instruments, which are, there's a sword, a mirror, and a cup. And the cup is the one where the angels, the Nephilim have drank it out of to become the Shadow Hunters, Nephilim, that kind of thing. And so basically he is in search of that, and to find one of them or something like that, he's gone and killed very young creatures. So it's in this book there are downworlders and there are shadow hunters, and I think there's the Forsaken and demons and stuff like that, but he has to kill certain downworlders, and so he has to kill a vampire, a fairy, a werewolf, and a warlock. And so he's already done the fairy and the warlock, and he needs the vampire and the werewolf. I liked this book a lot because Isabel definitely tells Clary that you need to step up your game, you need to be a woman, you need to stand up for everything. But also she does it to say, hey, you need to get Simon and Jace from stop fighting over you, that kind of thing. And yeah, just really assert yourself. And so I really respect Isabel all throughout this series. Like, really and truly, I love Isabel. Like, if she had been the main character in these books, I would have been totally fine. If she was like, the protagonist, I would have been fine. But, you get what you get, and so, yeah, that's City of Ashes. I like this a lot better. Yes, like I said, character development was a lot better in this book. And then we get to my favorite book in this, the first part of the series. I'm gonna say the original trilogy, like Star Wars, because the first book reminds me of Star Wars. If you ever watch the original trilogy, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, City of Glass, seriously, best book in the original trilogy, whatever you want to call it. Amazing. It's so much bigger, yes. It is, let's see, it's over 500 pages. It's like 530 pages, I think. And it's necessary. I thought maybe that there would be like a lot of fluff. There is kind of a little bit of like, not really waiting around for something to happen, but it's just kind of like, let's go in search of this, let's go in search of that. But it's like, for good reason. It's not, camping in the woods like Deathly Hallows. Definitely not that at all. But, you see a lot of the Downworlders really coming together with the Shadow Hunters in Idris, because in this one, most of it, I think 90% of the book, at least, happens in Idris, which is this Shadow Hunter city, and it's in somewhere in Europe. It's kind of like how Hogwarts is, where you really don't know where it is. They kind of hint towards where it is, but at the same time, they have to kind of portal to get there, or take a plane. But who wants to take a plane when you can have a portal and just walk through it and be in Idris? So in City of Glass, we have our protagonist coming to Idris, and of course Jace is like, I don't want you to come. I want you to stay home and be protected. I don't want you to get hurt. No, don't do that. And so, of course, what does Clary do? She comes to Idris. She and Luke go, because the reason behind going to Idris, it wasn't just for her mom, but Madeline shows up and is like, and she's one of Clary's mom's old friends, and is like, hey, if you want to know how to wake up your mom told me the secret, and basically it's to go and talk to Ragnar Fell, who is this warlock in Idris, and you have to go see him. And of course Jace is like, I'll do it. I volunteer. Clary's like, no, I'm her daughter. I am her daughter. And so she's off to see the warlock. And of course, City Glass, she comes in, she's like, I'm gonna throw this in your face, Jace. You're being awful, you're being mean to me, and he does the same to her, where he's like, you're being a total stupid head. I'm sorry, if you've read that part where he just totally tells her off, I feel like she deserved that. Like, I know it was mean, yes, but she's also been like terrible to him throughout this series, where she's like, I know better, and he's like, but I'm a shadow hunter, not to say that I know more than you, but I'm more educated at all of this stuff. And so it's just, sometimes she just annoyed me a lot. I said that before, but it's just like, girl, you think you know, but you're just taking a shot in the dark most of the time. And this one, I feel like all the characters just took a lot of growing and learning and things like that, especially Isabel. She talks about how it's become a part of her life to assume that if a shadow hunter is leaving home, they might not come back as far as going into battle. And so that whole speech, that whole part just broke my heart. Like, Isabel, she's my homegirl. Just, let's put that out there. Also in City of Glass, we get to meet a lot of interesting people that you never thought that you would meet in this book. And it has to do with Valentine and Jace and things along that line as far as Jace's past. Oh my gosh, just like mind-blowing. Like, in this book, I said this on Goodreads that I wanted to go camping in Cassandra Clare's mind. I said her name weird. But basically, in this one, all the twists are just so like, boom! I did not expect anything like this at all. This book is just amazing, and I loved it so much because it's just like every twist and turn was something new and surprising and something that you would never guess to think about, because like a lot of the stuff in a lot of the earlier books, it seemed kind of predictable, but in this one it was like, I would have never guessed that at all. Especially having to do with the demon blood and the angel blood stuff. Also in this one, Valentine is in search of more of the mortal instruments. He's trying to find the mirror, finds it, of course. of course. And yeah, it's definitely, this seemed like the original trilogy, like I said, because of the fact that at the end of City of Glass, like, yeah, you could see how it could go on more, but most of it was kind of like riding off into the sunset, kind of like Blackheart by Holly Black, if you've ever read that. It's just, this one, they're not riding off in a car or anything like that, but they're just kind of, it's a celebration after the battle and things like that, and so it's definitely like, you could see how it ends, or how it could be an ending to a series or a trilogy. Overall, I found this series to be very entertaining. I really liked it. I know that the first book was kind of rough. The second one was getting better. The third one was like, oh my gosh, this is where it should be all the time. Yes, I could probably read City of Glass over and over and over again and be totally fine with that. If I just had to read one book forever and ever, that would be it. I'm exaggerating, but really, like, it's, yeah, that's the point of the series where you're just like, this is where it's at. This is what I love about this series because, you know, there's a, you know, the fantasy, you've got the evil stuff that is just juicy. I think Cassandra Clare has just got it on par, whatever. Just words. It's just so entertaining, and I keep saying that, but it's just got this great balance between, you know, the, it's with the, words. Action and humor and serious stuff and world building and things like that that are just really great. So those are my reviews of City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will soon be reading or reviewing Clockwork Angel because I just finished that, and I also requested City of Fallen Angels and Clockwork Prince from the library, and so you can look forward to seeing those reviews fairly soon. I would say within the next month. And so I hope you all have a great day. Tell me what you think about this series below if you've read it. If you haven't, let me know if I convinced you, maybe, possibly. And definitely, I've heard a lot of people saying that they didn't like the first book or they didn't like the second book. Definitely give the third book a chance. I know that it takes some time to get through these books sometimes, but I felt like I got through them fairly quickly, and I'm a fairly slow reader. And so, yes, I hope you all have a great day and keep reading.